Lego Batman Nightmare in Gotham started in production way back in 2015, and with episode 4 coming out tomorrow, I figured it would be a good time to recap the previous 3 episodes for you guys in this short video, especially with episode 3 having released almost 2 years ago. Let's go back and recap. Episode 1 started off with a meeting between Two-Face and the Penguin, which is sabotaged by Robin, Batgirl, and Nightwing. The villains are confused as to where Batman is, but he has bigger plans tonight, as Bruce Wayne has a big announcement to make. Meanwhile, at Arkham Asylum, the Joker is meeting with his therapist, Dr. Harleen Quinzel. While there, he is able to take out the guards and convince Dr. Quinzel to help break him out. He does this by manipulation and showing her the diary he found of her writings that display her true feelings of affection for him. She agrees to help him. Meanwhile, at the police station, Lieutenant Jones and other police officers are watching the live press conference that Bruce Wayne has set up. The officers seem to enjoy him, but not Lieutenant Jones.
To experience a thing as emotional as losing someone you love affects you for the rest of your life.
He believes Bruce Wayne isn't the guy he makes himself out to be. He also doesn't like Mayor Jones, despite being his own father, as he hates the idea that Mayor Jones supports Batman and other vigilantes. As the police roll out, we are introduced to Jonathan Baker, an ordinary guy who gets attacked by the Scarecrow in his fear grass, as Scarecrow proclaims that he needs Jonathan Baker for some sort of experiment going on that night. At Bruce Wayne's press conference, Bruce Wayne announces that he has been secretly providing funds for the Batman, although we all know that he indeed is the Batman himself. The mayor is happy to hear the news of the support, but Lieutenant Jones storms off in anger. Episode 2 kicks things off by having the mayor shot and killed at the press conference. Bruce Wayne encourages everyone to evacuate, and Alfred informs him that it may be time to suit up. Commissioner Gordon and Lieutenant Jones are outside calling in for backup. Commissioner Gordon apologizes to the lieutenant for the loss of his father, but the lieutenant just wants to extract revenge on whoever it was who did it. Batman arrives on the scene with Barbara, Tim, and Dick, all dressed up as Batgirl, Robin, and Nightwing, helping people evacuate. Wait, is that Clark Kent? Anyways, Batman tells the lieutenant and the commissioner that he believes this was done by a trained assassin, although Lieutenant Jones accuses one of Batman's Arkham freaks and refuses to take orders from Batman.
But you take orders from me. Stand down, Henry. Batman will take care of this.
Batman analyzes the mayor's body for clues. Upon analyzation, Batman realizes that the bullet was indeed that of an assassin, specifically that of Deathstroke. He heads out to find him, but the lieutenant still doesn't understand why the commissioner supports him. Suddenly, the Batmobile crashes into the commissioner. The lieutenant is in shock by this and blames Batman for it, but Batman doesn't understand how someone could have gotten access to his vehicle. From the rooftop, Deathstroke talks to someone in a secret voice, claiming that the deed is done. Batman returns back to the Batcave, where Batgirl, who is also Commissioner Gordon's daughter, is in shock over the attack on her father, and Alfred tells Batman that he activated it himself. Alfred claims that Batman told him to start the Batmobile engine. He replays it to him, making Batman realize that it was clips of his voice used, and the only people who have access to it are his allies, meaning someone has betrayed the team. Lieutenant Jones drops Commissioner off at the hospital, and when asked by a nurse what happened, he exclaims,
The Batman is what happened to him.
Meanwhile, Jonathan Baker suddenly wakes up to dead hostages from an experiment from Scarecrow and the Joker. They inject Jonathan Baker with it. The police are able to shut down their operation, and when Batman shows up, all the hostages are dead, except for Jonathan Baker, who is nowhere to be seen. Lieutenant Jones tells Batman this is the cause of his Arkham freaks. Batman briefly sees the Joker, who tells him now that his plans are all ruined. Batman visits Arkham Asylum to find out how the Joker broke out, but the police there tell him that all the security footage was wiped out, something only possible from someone working there. Batman sees the diary of Dr. Quinzel, realizing that this must have been her doing. The police refuse to allow Batman to see the Joker in his cell. Orders from the lieutenant, they say. He attacks the cops and breaks into the cell, where he sees a dead Joker in the cell. Before he can analyze the body, Lieutenant Jones breaks in with the other police officers and says that Batman is under arrest for assault on police officers and for the murder of the Joker. That brings us to episode 3, where Jonathan Baker wakes up in his bed, getting flashbacks from the previous night where he was injected by the Scarecrow and Joker. He gets a flashback of being transformed into some shadow-esque being and escaping. Back at Arkham, Batman escapes Jones and the police officers and heads back to the Batcave. Jones tells his officers to dispose of the body, despite not examining it for proof, as Jones believes that the Batman being there is plenty of evidence as to who is responsible. Back at the Batcave, Batman is still bothered by all these events occurring in one night, but more specifically, how someone was able to get access to the Batmobile's voice recognition system that almost resulted in Commissioner Gordon's death. Suddenly, Lieutenant Jones shows up at the Wayne Manor to have a word with him. He tells Bruce Wayne to give him the name of the Batman, since it is now public information that he works with the Batman. Lieutenant Jones tells Batman that Batman murdered the Joker, to which Batman replies,
"And I'm sure you have plenty of evidence to support this."
Bruce Wayne tells him that he does not know the Batman's true identity, but the lieutenant accuses him of lying. Bruce Wayne says if there isn't anything else, there isn't a point of talking anymore, and the lieutenant leaves, telling Batman that he's going to regret that decision. Robin discovers that the Riddler was one responsible for the attack, meaning the Riddler was working with someone who had access to the voice codes. Batman goes to solve the clue that the Riddler left behind. When Robin asks to come, Batman says it's better he doesn't, as he may need him on the Batcomputer for the rest of the night. Tim accuses him of just being worried he would lose him, just like he lost Jason Todd, who was the Robin before Tim became Robin. That angers Bruce, who explains to him that when he lost Jason to the Joker, he swore he'd never have a Robin again, but Tim was too talented to pass by. He leaves, and Alfred tells Tim that Jason Todd's death placed a bigger toll on Bruce than he likes to admit. Batman confronts the Riddler in a warehouse. He tries to get the Riddler to tell him who he's working for, but of course he doesn't say anything. He solves the riddle and is attacked by Deathstroke. They fight, and Batman asks who's behind all the events, but Deathstroke has the warehouse rigged with explosives, forcing Batman to jump out a window. He barely survives the explosion, and is rescued by Jonathan Baker's mysterious shadow figure and dropped off at the Batcave. Towards the end of the episode, the Riddler talks to a mysterious voice. The voice tells the Riddler that the city will be his, and he must be patient as the events he has planned unroll. The voice thanks Deathstroke for his service, and asks him if he was responsible for the death of the mayor, saying that it was unseen in his plan, but having the police against Batman will certainly help.
Of my targets, yes. Is there a problem?
Quite the opposite, actually. You've assisted in our plan to turn the police against Batman.
At the very end of the episode, Lieutenant Jones tells a police officer to announce a press conference.
It's about my plan to finally bring justice to Gotham City by announcing a warrant for the Batman's arrest.
And that all brings us to episode 4. Who is really behind the murder of the mayor and the death of the Joker? Will the lieutenant succeed in bringing in the Batman? Who is betraying the team? Can Batman really do all this alone, with even the police after him? And how did Jonathan Baker survive when all the other hostages didn't? Find out tomorrow when episode 4 drops, and be sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe so you don't miss the other episodes of LEGO Batman: Nightmare in Gotham. Thanks for watching, and leave a comment down below of your favorite moment in the series so far.